The China Report for Saturday, May 4, 2013. Rat meat sold as lamb in China. Even for China's scandal-numbed diners, inured to endless outrages about food hazards, news that the lamb simmering in the pot may actually be rat tested new depths of disgust. In an announcement intended to show that the government is serious about improving food safety, the Ministry of Public Security said on Thursday that the police had caught a gang of traders in eastern China who bought rat, fox and mink flesh and sold it as mutton. But that and other cases of meat smuggling, faking and adulteration featured in Chinese newspapers and websites on Friday were unlikely to instill confidence in consumers already queasy over many reports about meat, fruit and vegetables laden with disease, toxins, banned dyes and preservatives. 900 people were arrested. China makes waves as new force in drone warfare. China is emerging as a real force in the drone warfare market, with aerospace firms developing and showcasing unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, that rival what's produced in the United States. The Associated Press reported that Chinese firms have recently unveiled UAVs that are eerily similar to the Predator, Global Hawk and Reaper models used by the CIA and by the U.S. Air Force. Military analysts say Chinese drone technology is still behind America's and Israel's but that it's catching up quickly. The emerging drone technology represents China's growing military intelligence. It also suggests that China is preparing a military challenge for dominance in the Asia-Pacific, a role currently filled by America. The concern is China, which said its drones can carry bombs and missiles, could take the technology and use it to intimidate neighbors, AP reported. Japan, Vietnam, India and the Philippines are among those who are watching. China rising. After centuries of Western dominance, the world's center of economic and political weight is shifting eastward. In just 30 years, China has risen from long-standing poverty to being the second largest economy in the world faster than any other country in history. From angry farmers to weary migrant workers, powerful politicians and everyone in between, what China says and does, has become of undeniable importance to the entire world. After centuries of Western dominance, the world's center of economic and political weight is shifting eastward. In just 30 years, China has risen from long-standing poverty to being the second largest economy in the world faster than any other country in history. From angry farmers to weary migrant workers, powerful politicians and everyone in between, what China says and does, has become of undeniable importance to the entire world. Episode 1. The Dramatic Rise. Although no other country in history has risen so quickly from poverty to prosperity as China has, for many in the world's most populous nation, those advances have come at a price. The economic reforms that made the People's Republic's rise possible have also led to a harshly divided China. Divisions whose impacts could easily spread from disenfranchised individuals to threaten the economic growth contemporary Chinese society has come to be based upon. The political system may change into something much more equal and representative and inclusive. Now many scholars and some high-ranking party officials see China evolve into a Confucian meritocratic government on the national level and some form of democratic system on the provincial level. This form of Confucian democracy may surely be superior to any form of political system prior. China threatens to end the military rule of the U.S. in Asia. In mid-April, the Chinese government said the increased U.S. military presence in the Asia-Pacific region causes a lot of tension, and they plan to send more military forces and strengthen their partnerships with neighboring countries. A recent study found that China increasingly threatens to end the military supremacy of the USA. China has the largest army in the world. In mid-April, the Chinese government said the increased U.S. military presence in the Asia-Pacific region causes a lot of tension, and they plan to send more military forces and strengthen their partnerships with neighboring countries. A recent study found that China's growing industrial power increasingly threatens to end the military supremacy of the United States U.S. in Asia-Pacific waters, making it difficult for Washington to be able to maintain their status quo in the region, achieved through its alliances with Japan and South Korea. According to experts, due to the economic interdependence between the two countries, Beijing will probably prevent the use of military force and not cause an armed conflict in order to try to expel Washington from the region. That would be a huge mistake for China as its military is still far behind the West in terms of equipment, training and intelligence. That's the China Report for today. Zaijian.